Yeah, it's the new year. We can switch things up. Nobody cares.
Exactly. Welcome everyone. If anyone is there, I haven't even looked. Just a chill stream to relax and bring in the new year with our amazing guests Justin and Mike Jimmy, who is working on, I'm guessing, Life on Quora.
Yeah, number
Yeah.
6. So I had to go bigger, and I thought my original pages were big. Well,
Yeah.
we can do bigger.
2 artists and a loitering writer.
Sounds about right.
Mm.
I didn't know you was an artist, Justin.
Unless you count stick figures as art, then yeah, sure.
I bet you could make a
Honestly,
whole comic book of stick figures, and as long as the
yeah. I
story was
mean,
good, I bet it would be
I,
sick.
have you seen the Order of the Stick? I mean, it's literally been done and done
Has it?
successfully. So don't worry about it.
No, I shall stick to the craft of the words. It's always much more interesting for me watching artists do their thing, especially inking like what you're doing now. It's nice to watch a picture come alive like that.
I
Well,
find it annoying watching artists because I just can't do it, no matter how hard I
so
try.
Mm.
some of my favorite panels are actually from my previous page. Like
I don't,
this just
I don't know.
made me happy.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't believe I made that Kirby Crackle work.
Yeah, that is cool.
But yeah, I had to go A2 because my writer has been absolutely going insane on the panels.
mm.
So some pages have 12 panels on them, and I'm like, yeah, we got to go full European on this, guys. 4 rows of panels because we can.
What's uh, what's Justin working on
Justin has
lately?
been going through Niven's War to catch any mistakes that may have been missed, polish up any chapters that need it, and then he's going to
Ooh,
go through it one more time just to make sure it all reads good, and then I'll start fulfilling mid-January,
nice.
That is good.
which, not to gloat, well, maybe a little, will be about 2 months before completion date, the official completion date on Indiegogo.
Oh no, you can totally gloat about that. That
Yeah, of
is
course.
100% something that you can gloat about and be absolutely proud of.
Mm,
Well done,
100%.
man. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, it's something I've taken great pride in because, don't get me wrong, I've been proud of my other books that have come out, but this one's obviously had a lot more attention on it than previous releases. So I thought I'd need to nail this one from the get-go.
Yeah, the only problem you've got now though is you've set the bar so high.
Mm.
It means in the future you can't do anything wrong.
Well, the
No,
thing is, like, because you've done it, you know, to the best of your ability once, you're only going to grow from there, And whether that's for comics or written stories or whatever,
mm.
you're doing your best, and your best is just going to be better every single time.
Yeah, I mean, this book, one thing I learned through it, and the one I wrote during the time it was with the editor, was perfecting the editing process, because there was a function on my writing software that I didn't know existed, where it would read it back to you um,
Oh,
in
yeah.
a slightly very robotic voice, kind of like Herbie from Buck Rogers. I could sit there and someone's probably doing it like as they're
Hmm.
reading it back to me, but because it's being read back to you, you can spot the mistakes. Because the problem is, if you're reading it on the screen, it's strange to describe, but the brain kind of auto fills in the words, so you miss them.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
yeah,
when it's
no,
being read
totally.
back to you, you pick them up. So um, I learned to perfect the editing process by using that bit of software, And whilst that book went back to the editor for the second round checks, I did that approach on the book that I wrote during the initial waiting time, and it's probably the cleanest second draft that I've submitted. So it's been a good process in that respect.
So
Awesome.
the edit, because I've never used an editor. I always just ask people to give it a look over
Mm.
and send it to various people are going to pick up different things. Like that's always been
Yeah.
how I've done it. But if I paid someone like an editor to find like errors, and then they just sent it back and was like, "You need to fix this," I'd be like, "Well, why haven't you just fixed it?" Like,
Okay, so
Um,
what you got to keep in mind is that an editor, like an actual professional editor, is not just going to be a proofreader. He's going to do a lot more than just
oh
proofreading.
yeah, no, I understand that with the larger things, as if like there's issues with the plot. Obviously, they're not gonna fix that. But I mean, like if there's a typo or some shit like that, surely if you're paying
my
him good or her good money, they can just like whack a comma in for you or something.
It depends on how big the manuscript is and what other errors are there. My editor,
Yeah,
he has a two-pronged approach. First of all, if it's a typo or needs a comma, he'll do a comma on the text in red, and there'll be a line to the margin where he'll say inserted comma here. That's for me to do in the manuscript myself, but I don't mind that because that's how most editors work anyway. And also,
Like an
if
English
there's like,
teacher going through your
yeah,
homework.
yeah, and if there's a continuity error or an issue with the story in this particular scene, he'll highlight this text, do a note to the margin, and say, "This is wrong, and this is how you fix it," or "Why does this happen?" or "Why does that happen?" and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you a good example. In the free book that's on my mailing list, there was a scene where the character fires a flare gun at this very large creature, and he highlighted that section and he did a note where he said just one round question mark, and because of him highlighting that, the scene extended more and was a little more action packed as a result.
Yeah.
Little bits like that, but also in between two chapters he did a massive one. This was the biggest curveball he'd thrown at me, where he said it feels like you've got an entire scene or two scenes missing from the story as to what happened between this chapter and this one. You need to fill that in. So that alone led to the free book extending by about 2,200 words, something like that, because I wrote those scenes for him to see.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Right. I sent out the corner of my eye. Dave's telling me off. Uh, he says that I'm not looking at the chat, and he is correct. I'm not. I wasn't looking at the chat now. But he does say he's looking forward to reading your novel, trying to read more books this year, so it's very convenient that this is coming. So, yeah, that's two, Dave, if you haven't read the free one on the mailing list yet. Yeah, so crack on.
Believe me, I'm looking forward to getting it out there.
Mike says he hopes he died in a really embarrassing way.
You got a good one, Mike. You got a good one.
I hope I don't die. Demon Bizarre, how's it going? Dave saying hi to people. Rob will be his editor. Dave's book is going to be in 50 different languages then.
But no, you were
Yes.
you were right about raising the bar because obviously a few people were rightly criticised me for only just having the book tier and no like physical extras and all that. So when the second book is ready to rock, I'm going to plan to have trading cards of the first two covers, and I've asked the artist if she can do sketch cards. because I think
Nice.
those are cool extras. So, yeah, I'm not so
Good
concerned
thing.
about prints, but cards definitely.
The good thing with cards and prints is they're fairly inexpensive,
Yeah.
unless obviously you're paying like if you got EVS to do you a card, it would set you back like thousands and thousands. But obviously, that's
No,
like the extreme, and it.
yeah, I mean, well, this new artist I'm working with, Carla, who had done the first Niven's Wars cover, she has since moved on and wasn't available to do this one. So a friend of mine put me in touch with this new artist, and I told her what I wanted for the cover, and she gave me a rough sketch up, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So she's currently working on that as we speak, and the cover for Niven's War 2 will be ready long before the book is. Sorry, before I start writing the second one.
The what? You can't give us anything about the second one yet, can you? Because
Not yet.
we haven't read the first. I don't want to ruin it for myself.
You'll see. I'll let you know when it's ready to rock and roll. But as with before, I won't launch the campaign until at least the second draft is prepared, so that again it cuts down the waiting time.
Yeah, that's a lesson I learned myself. Was I think not that I launched too early, but there was a lot because Twisted Fairy Tales was an anthology. There was so many different moving cogs.
Mm.
So like Mike being the absolute fucking beast that he is at churning out work, like got his all finished.
Look, I was
ridiculously
so
early.
beyond my deadline. That that was a horrible time for me.
But like I got his in so much quicker than a lot of other people. Like when I'm going through and I'm checking, and I'm like, right, this one's done theirs, this one's done theirs. I'm like, oh shit, Mike. And then I go on the chat and it's like, oh, you handed me that months ago. Like, it was that long ago. I completely forgot he'd even done it.
Yeah, no, like I put it on the Google Drive link, and yeah, you had downloaded it already and everything. You were like, dude, where did it go? And I'm like, check your fucking hard drive, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got the bookmarks done a little while ago, which is obviously there's that, and on the other side there's that, and you know, I
I'll
didn't
make a big
do.
screen to show that off, but I'm using the lasso tool at the minute. So if I click on the other screen,
That's
it's
okay.
gonna
Yeah,
across
made-
what I'm doing.
Yeah, I made sure to get those done early so that they'd be ready for when the campaign was finished, and I didn't think about including them sort of as a optional thing because it costs next to nothing. So I just thought it would be good just to include a bookmark with the book, you know, as normal.
Right, I actually have to switch
But,
screws for this one.
But I would recommend, which may be cheating a bit, is stuff like that where you gotta get them anyway. Just put them as a stretch goal.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
very easily obtained stretch goal.
Yeah, it's something I've got to go through for, like I said, when Niven's Wars 2 is ready to rock and roll. Because, again, I'd received, and again, I totally accept the criticism that I didn't have any extras to go with it. But as I said at the time, I think I said it to Shay as well when I went on her stream, that with this campaign, I was more concerned about fulfilling rather than allowing scope creep to set in.
Yeah.
Because obviously
Yeah,
we've
fair
had,
point.
and yeah, because obviously we've had a couple within CG, but outside of it, there have been campaigns that have not fulfilled and have soured crowdfunding for a lot of people. So that was more my concern, to show that I could get something complete and get it out there. Because
sorry, something I need to quickly interject because I just seen it in the chat.
go on then.
Demon Vizorak got his in the fastest actually. I said to him, he was one of the first people I approached. And I was like, look, I want to do this thing. Ran him through it. He was like, yeah, cool. And then I think the next day, he was like, there you go. as well.
Nice.
What?
That's the way to do it.
Mm.
Yeah, that was class of him. Right, I do apologise for interrupting you, Justin.
What was I saying? I've totally lost my train of thought now.
You was on about you wanted to get the first Nivens Ward done.
Oh
Without
yeah,
having-
because that was I remember now. Because I was in a games workshop in my town centre, which is sadly closed now, and I was talking with one of the clerks there about crowdfunding because I'd seen a board game on Kickstarter which sounded interesting, and he said, "I will never crowdfund anything ever again." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I crowdfunded the Ghostbusters game or something that had appeared on Kickstarter."
Mhm.
And he said the shop actually got its retail copies before he got his personal one, and it
Yeah.
still hadn't arrived. So it's a case of he'll never do it again. I thought, shit.
So he
And
wasn't doing
I
it for
don't blame him.
himself.
No, he was doing it for himself, but it was a bit demoralising when the store got its copies and it had been months over the deadline and he hadn't got his personal copy yet. And then you also look at things like that Crash Override, the Chuck Tingle video game that Zoe Quinn was had kickstarted, and I think she got something like 85 grand for it. But yet 3 or 4 years later, the game's never appeared. But yet she was able to go on holiday to Japan and write a book.
Yeah.
It lets us all down. Granted, Quinn's something of a grifter anyway, but it soils the whole name of crowdfunding. So that was why I deliberately kept mine simple.
Yeah. You've got bastards like me that are running ridiculously late with their books as well.
Well,
Are you ridiculously late?
Way later than I wanted to be. I didn't want to be late at all. Like, so. But I'm late enough that it's annoying me.
I'm going to be late with my first book, with the Radiant Sight, because we didn't reach our goal. I'm still going to fulfill it together with my writer. So we're paying the artists, and that means that slower pace. I updated the people like, hey, we might not reach the January fulfillment, but we're going to make it happen. It's going to be available with Lava Core 5 as well to get a little more money in. But yeah, it's January was a little unrealistic for an unfinished comic. And I'm gonna be late. Fucking hurts.
Is it Radiant Sight, did you say?
Yeah,
Was that the Korean drama one?
yeah.
That's it. I was just making sure I knew in my head like which one you was on about.
Yeah, no, like Lava Core is always done before I crowdfund it, Okay, my color sometimes isn't, but it's not that bad. Because she can easily get done by the time that the campaign is running. Like she's got 10 pages left for Lava Core 5, which will be done in 2 weeks. I know her,
Yeah.
But this is a new creative team. The artist is a little slower. The colorists are amazing. Like I got nothing on them, but yeah, they do it by day job, and the artist is more of a hobbyist. So you gotta take it. You gotta take the hit. But yeah, it still hurts. But gonna be late. Can't help it. So yeah, good. Just gotta keep up with it. But being late isn't the worst part. It's not delivering at all and keeping on going with new things. Just because Lava Core 5 is going to be running in 2 weeks. By the way, sign up, guys. Very much appreciated. Doesn't mean that.
That we can share.
Yeah, let me put it in the private chat.
Well, look what happened with Red Rooster. I mean, they were putting the individual issues of that on a crappy cardboard stand in Walmart before the backers even got their proper copies.
Oh, I really want a copy of Red Rooster.
I was literally this close to backing it, but then I stopped at the last minute because I realised I had to get something else instead, so I didn't bother in the end. And I realise now that I saved myself a lot of this crap by not backing that, and but I did back Sovereign, and
Mm.
but I only did the digital copy of that, thankfully. But that's years late now, and doesn't look like it's going to appear at all. But it was
Yeah,
funny
Uh,
because I follow Red Gaze on Twitter, and he received his proper copy of Red Rooster 2 years later, I believe it was, and he actually said, "I forgot I even backed this."
yeah,
yeah, that's bad.
Mm,
Demon says when he gets round to doing his own book, it will be finished before he tries to launch it.
good
yeah,
idea.
That's how I'm gonna do mine next, like,
Yeah.
or at least like really close to finishing that it won't be an issue.
yeah. Like I think what a big problem for you is, Jack, is the fact that you want everything colored. So that added so much more time to your work. You know,
Oh yeah,
to like,
I mean
and if people send it
there's a
in black and
couple
white, yeah, just keep it black and white. Don't care. You know.
there's a couple stories that have had to be black and white because I've
Mm,
tried to colour it and it just takes something away.
Yeah,
And
some of them are like that.
it's like, yeah, I'd rather it looked better in black and white than looked worse in
yeah.
colour.
Yeah, because the lady I normally work with for my covers, she wants to do a graphic novel, and we talked about how to do it, and I said it's best we get it done before launching. And I said to her, "Do you want to do it in black and white?" And she said, "Yeah, that'd be great because it would cut out a lot of hassle for us."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And she said to me, "What aesthetic do you want to go for?" And I said, "Early Dark Horse Aliens comics," because they were black and white and looked
Nice.
fantastic. So I sent her an old graphic novel I had so she could keep it for reference material.
yeah. Some with black and white, I think it has to be the right. But there's a certain style it has to fit in my head.
Mm,
Like, not every story could be. Every story can be black and white, but some are more effective than others if it's black and
well, look
white.
at Cincy.
Yeah, since it is a prime example, that's
Oh yeah.
awesome. But and because I'm a colorist, I just like color. I always think like if I was to do this in black and white, like, I wouldn't have a job. Well, why would I do that to
So
myself?
do you like the minimal color approach?
I do, yeah. I do like
Because
like that fucking awesome color. Like I'd love that. I just can't do it.
I was watching behind the scenes documentary on Batman the animated series earlier today, and they were talking about how they'd done minimal colors on like black paper instead of white to get that noirish look of Gotham City, and I thought it was so effective.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah. Like when they say like, oh, that minimalist, it doesn't sound good, does it? It sounds
Mm.
like you're just not putting in as much, but it can look so good.
Mm.
Well, Okay, so what people often misunderstand is that minimalistic isn't the same as simple, because like um, there are so many um, comics and stuff that you could call minimalistic, but they're like, you still got to know anatomy. You still got to know what you're doing in order for it to look good.
Yeah,
And as long as you don't forget that, then minimalistic is definitely not just, a gimmick, because it's not.
uh, Bristolian Dave is prostituting himself in the chat. He needs to find a good artist who I think would work for my story and is willing to split profits for the first book, as his original
Well,
artist
Dave,
has gone. There are people out there.
there are people out there, but
That
I mean,
don't
I'm
advertise
interested
themselves.
Who was your original artist, Dave? As it says, as you say, may have seemingly disappeared or died.
Oh, they definitely disappeared. I don't know if he's dead or she's dead,
I hope
but
not.
they definitely disappeared.
Well, what you got to keep in mind, like those 50-50 splits are a ton of work for the creator, like for the artist in the first place,
Hmm.
and not that much for the writer. Um, like even if I would do just a black and white comic for someone, that I wouldn't be publishing myself. If they were to offer me a 50-50 split,
Sorry, I've
like
just seen Ariel's comment.
I know I did.
is artist. Okay, fair
Oh,
enough. Good one,
God.
area. Whew. No, but like if someone were to
Ugh.
offer me a 50-50 split, then I would be like, yeah, okay, but then 50-50 the work too. Like do the lettering, do the flat colors,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meet
I
me in the
agree with
middle.
all of that except the flat colours because I'm flatting now and I fucking hate it.
There is a
You love
reason I have a colorist.
Yeah. Because that's because the 50-50 split also happens with creating audiobooks for Amazon. Because obviously narrators work for quite a fee, and if you can't afford it, you go on the ACX website and do it that way. You find someone who'd be willing to do a 50-50 split on sales, which is how a lot of audiobooks get made.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing with one for my other books at the minute. But I don't know what I'm going to do with Niven's War if I do an audiobook for it or not yet, because it depends who I can find.
Get Rob to do it. Rob would be sick.
You would never be able to take your book seriously again, but
No.
it would be sick.
Nah, Rob can work professionally if he has to.
I know.
Like, he's your audiobook will be available across the world, like every language covered. There could be people in Kazakhstan listening to it. Like, fucking everyone.
Ghislaine Maxwell may be available, but not anytime soon.
It would be hilarious to hear an entire book with Rob's Dutch accent. Well, German English accent in Dutch. I think I wouldn't be able to
Rob's
stop
in the
laughing.
chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Have I got a black eye?
Really?
I don't think I can't tell. I thought he was just tired.
I was going to say, I am tired.
Yeah, my sleep has been really all over the place these last couple of days.
Yeah,
That's my secret. I'm always
I was,
tired.
I was supposed to stay up to see in New Year's, but I had a load of beers and decided to just go for a quick lie down. And then I woke up and it was midnight and the fireworks are going off like it was Beirut outside my front door.
We don't have that many fireworks by us, actually. I have a suggestion for you, Dave. Actually, and it's a really good suggestion. So I'm going to send it you on Twitter and not publicly to the world, because it's too good of a suggestion to share with everyone else.
Oh,
Let me just copy it.
these panels are going fast.
The link to Life on Cora 5 is
Thank you.
in the chat.
Be sure to sign up. We have plushies.
Are they the plushes that we seen before, or have you had new ones?
No. These are going to be the Otzi ones, the little dragon creature. Let me grab it for you guys.
Yeah, because there was another
There
Comics
you
Game
go.
project doing plushies as well, weren't there?
There we go.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, they are cool.
You can pose the ears. And the wings are going to be poseable as well in the future. Like, this is a prototype, so they're stuck together. I'm going to fix that. But they're 12 by 8 inches. They are big. And they're only going to be 40 euros. And if you sign up, they're only going to be 30 euros.
What's that in real money?
That's about 35 pounds or discounted 25 pounds.
Oh, that's not
So,
bad.
yeah, they're going to be pretty cheap. Area.
Aria's interested in getting a plushie from you.
Yeah, as long as you don't make videos or pictures. Like, I don't care. Please buy 100 in that case. But dear fucking Lord, don't confront me with it. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Will there be a special,
No.
like a hole cut
No.
in the back of the
No,
plushie? to
there will
your-
not.
Oh, so it comes with some assembly, Aria. You have to sort that yourself.
Ugh.
Justin, have you ever done
Thank
flatting
you.
before?
You are sorry?
Have you ever done flatting and shit like that before?
Flatting?
Yeah.
I have
Like
no idea what that is.
Flat coloring a page.
Yeah, you just put like a block colour down in the bits that need it.
No, nothing like that.
You should learn in the next like 5 minutes. And then do this.
No, the one thing I'd actually thought about trying once I get a new computer was digital lettering, because apparently it's in quite some demand, and essentially there's only one person, it seems, doing all of Comicsgate lettering whilst he's trying to get his other books done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said to Eric, No, he said he was doing a course on lettering, and I'd asked him a little while back if he'd gotten anywhere with it, and he'd said at the minute he was just focusing on Battlebrick Road. So I'm curious to see if he does actually bring this course out, because if I can do it with the software I've got, I'd give it a shot, and well, come what may.
I guarantee if Eric releases a course on lettering, CG will just be filled with letterers. Like-
Okay.
The 3 or 4 letterers that we've got at the moment will be crying.
Honestly, I don't like. I do the lettering for my own comics. I don't mind it as much. It's not the worst.
I lettered for Not Daredevil. That was weird. Like, very weird. Because all the speech bubbles were already there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, the words were put in after. And, like, because it's artwork from the fucking 60s, I think it was. Like, none of the scans were super clean. Like, which was fine, because it added that bit of I can't even think of the word, like, character about it. But
Yeah,
then
like.
when
Yeah,
I was
I mean,
typing, I had to make it look old as well. And
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
weird.
I would love to give it a go, because it's something that has fascinated me to a small degree, because the guy that got me into collecting comics when I was much younger, he got hold of an Incredible Hulk page that was done by McFarlane back in the day, and I remember just sort of looking at the lettering, which you could obviously tell was glued on over the artwork, and I'm just thinking, that's got to be such a careful thing to do, because you're essentially going over art that someone has taken such a long time to do. So I found it fascinating just from that aspect alone. But now the fact that you can do it digitally was like, I would love to see how this goes. But again, I don't think Eric's got the course ready yet. So it is what it is.
So, what art program are you
Just
familiar
want to
with?
jump in, sorry, quickly, and say bye to Rob in the chat.
Good night, Rob.
Take it easy, Rob.
Just jumping off.
See you around.
Yeah, have you used any, I can't think what the word is, but software for drawing and stuff like that?
No, I think Eric does it with Adobe software, but it would be like I said. Should he actually get around to launching it, I would seriously look into see if I could do it. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see when he actually launches this whole thing because I am still interested. But like I said, at the moment he's focusing on Battle Brick Row, which I really can't fault him on. But we'll wait and see when something is launched and I can sit down and get a good look at it. I'll go there.
You should start jumping in now, like before the courses. Like give yourself a bit of a head start because the basics are easy to learn.
Yeah.
So, if you want a pretty decent program for it, like get Clip Studio Paint, just get the pro version. You know, it's $50, and often enough, it's 50% off, like every 3 months or so.
I was gonna say, I think I
making a
paid
note of that.
£20. It's a one-off thing because it's always just get it on sale.
Yeah.
It's almost always on sale. But
Yeah,
that's what
I'll take a
using
look at
now,
it.
and it's so good.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
so
once
good.
I'll look at it in between my projects and see what I can do then. But at the minute, I've got a laptop that I work on. I would like to transition to a desktop. So we'll see. But it is something I am interested in looking at.
And Graphic Goose, this is not phallic at all. It's a bird. See? It's a wing. Okay? Nothing phallic about it.
Nothing about it yet.
No, it won't be phallic. Bugger off. No, what I found is like Clip Studio has a wonderful way of making text bubbles and everything. And yeah, it's really easy to use. And it's really made for making comics.
Yeah,
But
100%.
the main issue that I have with it when it comes to comic creation is that you can't work in CMYK. So that is
Yeah,
one of the
that's-
downsides.
That's a more advanced thing that Justin would not have to worry about as much.
Yeah,
Because
but
I mean, I've talked to my artist about doing it when the time comes, and she reckons she'd be okay with it. But I still like to look into it at some point because I don't want to just dump 70% of the work on her shoulders when the time comes.
Yeah.
But,
That was my. I said it loads of times. That was my thinking. I started off with colouring, so when I could approach someone and say, "Hey, want to draw my book?" or "Want to help me make a book?" it would be, if you do the art, I can do everything else, and then split it 50-50. And then I was like, "Yeah, it'd be easy to just colour in. I've been doing that since I was 7 on paper, but fucking."
the color
So
theory is
harder.
the same digitally, physically as digitally. So
Yeah, that's another thing about artistry in any form that I really should appreciate more is how much time it takes to put one of these images together. Because when I've been watching her draw my covers, and she does a live feed on Discord so I can watch, the time it takes for her to do like the minutest of detail, it's worthy of a lot of respect because obviously I know that I can't draw for shit, so I just focus on my strengths. But I love watching artists work, which is why I'm sitting here watching Mike do this inking and thinking, wow.
Years, man. It takes years. It doesn't
Oh,
matter what you
absolutely.
do. Like I can't write for shit. I have zero imagination. Like I
Mm,
wouldn't be able to do anything without my writers. You know, like 100% like respect for you guys.
mm. I mean, with the script for this graphic novel, I'm picking away at it slowly because it's a new style for me. So I'm kind of just dipping my toes into the water and gradually wading out into it to see how I do. But I like where it's going so far. I think I've done something like 16 pages of this graphic novel, and
Nice.
yeah, and the rule that we've sort of established between us is that whatever projects we do, it's a complete story. You know, no part twos or threes. Just do it in one shot.
Mm, that's a
Yeah,
good way to go at it.
you've got a super duper advantage on everyone else, Justin. That if you was to have a go at drawing, colouring, lettering, anything like that, you've got CG UK.
Oh God, yeah.
Like,
That is one thing I have admired about this community from the get go is the amount of support that we all offer each other. Uh, I mean, I even remember when I was talking about doing Niven's War, and someone in the chat said, you know, we're all here for you when you're ready to rock and roll. And even when I first
yeah,
appeared on Aria's
Yeah.
first call-in show that he did, I think it was probably was it after you, Mike? I think. Um,
Yeah, probably.
yeah, I was bricking it just talking about it because obviously you got all these folks offering these wonderful looking projects with art like we've got here, and then there's some side offering a paperback book. I just thought, what the hell can I offer? But as time's gone on, it's proved to be a very rewarding experience.
Well, that's the thing. Like, um, if you put as much love into your books as most of us do in our comics, like that is respect, man. Like, why would we care about the actual medium? It's about the fact that you're trying to put out the best thing you can do.
Mm,
And yeah, it's like I am a very avid reader. Like
yeah.
whether it's comics or books, like every single night before I go to bed, there's at least 30 minutes that I'm reading
Hmm.
because that is just that's my relaxing moment. So yeah, like all by indie books. Currently, I'm reading a Lovecraftian horror by a fellow Dutch
Yeah.
author, and I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm going a little slower. He needs some editorial help, but
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's his first book. I don't care. It's great.
yeah,
Yeah, I've made it a stance of mine going forward that I primarily support independent projects over the quote unquote mainstream stuff because, in my opinion, indies are just trying harder, and you can see the efforts in what they're doing. Uh, I mean, look at what we were talking about earlier with the stuff that's coming out of mainstream with like the recent Superman comics.
well, don't
Yeah.
forget, if you're not a fan of that, you're a bigot.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right. That's the thing.
Mm. So that's where I happily sort of stake my ground nowadays because I want to see indies do it more.
If you want to hang around with more indie authors, check out the Rising Tide podcasts.
Okay.
Um, like the Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
Hmm.
Ryan K. Morris, Michaela Jade, stuff like that. Like they make indie books just like you. They publish to Amazon and um, sometimes do crowdfunders. And yeah, like you will learn a lot from them, but it's also motivating to
Yeah.
be around people that do the same as you do,
Hmm.
and they're wonderful people.
Oh God, yeah. Um, I'll let you in on this. I've actually put a couple of nods to certain CG folks in one form or another in the book,
Nice.
but you'll have to sort of spot where and when. Yeah, I find that stuff fun, and it's like I said, I think a lot of the indie stuff has got more heart to it. It's got more soul to it. It's been created because someone wants to create it for other people to enjoy, not with a lot of the mainstream stuff that just doesn't seem to have either heart or soul in it, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
Well, the thing
We were-
is, like, as indies, you have
Yeah.
to have the heart or soul, otherwise
Oh,
nobody's
gotcha.
gonna buy it. You know,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fix it for us.
no, because the family and I, we rented Venom 2 or Let There Be Carnage as an example the other weekend, and I'll tell you what, it was boring. The story was just flat as anything, and the final fight, if you can call it that, was just a CG fest.
Oh God! Yeah.
I still love watching the original Aliens, because like the final battle between Ripley and the Queen with the power loader, that they're puppets, but because it's done up
Yeah.
close and it's done so well, you don't notice it. You don't get that anymore, which is why, like I said, I don't watch a lot of modern movies now. I don't read a lot of the bigger published books. I look for the little stuff, and I mean, I finished collecting mainstream comics the other week. I've cleared out the last of my standing order, and I'm going to now buy the odd graphic novel here and there, just to read a lot of the stories that I've missed out on before. But I will happily support crowdfunded comics whenever I see something that I like. So there's that. What was that called? The Thin Blue Line. That's going to be the next one I'm going to back, because it looks like a good read. So
What's that one? I haven't seen.
it's co-written by Mike Baron. It's about the two cops caught in the middle of a riot or something like that. Because I think Mike Baron originally wrote Punisher. So I thought, okay, I shall check this out.
I might have heard something about it.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah, Mike Baron is just one hell of a writer. He did Florida Man as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
Florida
yeah.
Man. That looks.
Yeah.
Oh man. Fucking. I'm being really rude, but
Flatting
so much
sucks.
time.
Yeah. Once I go bi-monthly with Love and Korra, and that time is coming, whether it's this year or the next, I gotta get my colorist a flatter too. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't look at me.
No, don't worry. There's a couple that are probably gonna be cheaper, just because they do it for a living.
It cost you £1 million a page for me to do it.
Well, especially I don't even have the worst inks. You know, I'm not the '90s like overkill lines everywhere. Like this is actually supposed to be black and white kind of inks.
I'm gonna share.
Because I like to be able to see what's going on in a page.
Where's the fun in that? So I was after images earlier to colour in today, and Mike being awesome sent me one.
Yeah, I sent you the first page for Lava Core 6.
Mm.
And I looked at it and I thought, that is awesome, but that's like a
That's a project on its own.
yeah, that's like a whole day's worth kind of thing, and I just wanted something quick, not too quick, but not too long either.
Yeah, sorry, man. I do serious stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, forgot to press.
And as he says that, it's not too long, not too quick either. And I look at that and go, "Holy fuck, man!"
Yeah, this can be done in like little stages, and it like do the front
Yeah.
person, then
Loving the background perspective on it.
Mm.
obviously I didn't draw this. So yeah, I would love to be able to draw this good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing fan inks for for some of Daphne Leitch's stuff. Let me see. I should have it around. I know what's been coming. Ah, there it is. So these have been taking me a day each as well.
Oh wow.
Hold on. Let me
And the worst part about it is like she put these up on Facebook as low res images. So like I had to blow them up, clean them up, and then bring them out for inking. But they're so much fun. Still got two more to go. This one and then another one. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of these. Like it's gone pretty well.
Mm.
they are pretty cool. Inking's one of them things where I like doing it, but it really surprises me every time how long it takes.
Yeah, it's a lot of patience needed.
Mm.
But my problem is I like to, if I'm inking, like traditionally, I like to lie down and do it, like on
Oh,
the
yeah.
floor. But
Oh, really?
after a bit, yeah, my like elbow and shoulder just get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, I love my art desk. This thing is my life right now.
Yeah. I've tried to write sitting up in bed, but at the end of the day, I can never get much done, which is why I've made it a personal thing to always be sitting at a desk or a table when I do it. I've done it a couple of times where I've started a book in a coffee shop just to show I'm one of these ultra progressive writers. But no, I'm always happy just to sit at the desk and just type away.
Well, like one of the worst things you can do to yourself when it comes to creativity is combining your bed with anything else.
Yeah, bad idea.
You know, you want to keep your bed as your space where you sleep, especially in these
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of times. Um, yeah, like keep your bed for sleeping. It's okay if you read in bed, but the goal should be sleeping in the end.
Hmm.
And once you like like for me, like I Pavlov myself the moment this little glove gets on,
Yeah.
I start working. Like this is my work time now. Because I do like live essentially in my studio.
Hmm.
So
Damon says he writes the book that he's doing in bed.
Oh, I guess some people can do it.
general like yeah, some people can do it, but for the most part, like you want to keep things separated. You want your spaces to be separate from one another. This is where I relax. This is where I work.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I suppose it all depends on different people and like
Oh,
situations
yeah.
and sharing it. Demon's one of the people that I want to hire for a book soon.
Mm. I've heard advice from many different writers that have one space for writing and then go somewhere else for editing, so that you can distinguish the two, or for your mindset or something silly like that. But I'm happy to do both tasks in the same place. As much as I detest editing.
Yeah, just because it works for some people doesn't mean it's going to
Yeah.
work for everyone.
Oh god, yeah, it's part of the reason why I've stopped reading books on writing by other authors, because half the time I don't think they're meant for other authors to read. That particular author's just telling you what works for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's silly because I used to love reading the books to see if I could find nuggets of information that I could use, but a lot of the time I just read like tech manuals. So I've stopped with that altogether.
I've never read a book on how to write a book.
Yeah, like
It's there's two that I would recommend, and this is from a guy that's read quite a few. The first one would be Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and it was written by Jessica Brody. It's kind of an adaptation for books from the book Save the Cat, which teaches you how to write screenplays. And Brody changed the formula to fit a novel, then used it herself, and she wrote what would be a bestseller and got her career really going.
Mm.
And if you don't want to read the book, you know the site Udemy?
Yeah.
It's basically a site with courses for creators like writing and WordPress and stuff like that. She did it as a writing course for Udemy, and I gave it a go, and it's now a method that I use because it works best. But the other one was a book called, funny enough, called The Snowflake Method, and it was the approach is where you basically start off by summarizing your book in one sentence, and then you summarize it in one paragraph, and then in 2 or 3 paragraphs, then you expand it so you've got, I think, 4 pages, which ends up being an outline for whatever it is you're going to write. But with that book, the author doesn't tell it as like a method like in a tech manual. He does it as a novella story where the character's in a writing class and she's learning how to write a book through this method that's been taught by her teacher. And you read the story and you realise you've just been taught how to outline a book and you don't even realise it. So it was a very clever way of doing it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a very good way of doing it. He did it as an audio book. And as much as I love audiobooks, I say to anyone that wants to read it, get the book itself because it works better.
Yeah, I just, whenever I speak to people about writing, and they always say, ask all these questions about the book, which, like, I understand, like, what's, like, your message, and what's the theme, and what's the motivation, and all that shit, and I always think, like, I'll tell you when I'm finished.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to keep writing down what happens and see where it goes, and then I might be able to take, like, a small section, and that could be its own book, because the rest of it could be shit.
Yeah, I mean,
could be shit. Like, I just want to, like, whatever happens in the story, but just a bunch of cool shit happens.
Yeah, because I mean,
and then they did this, and then they did this.
Yeah, because with the last one I wrote, I used what's called the beat sheet on this on Save the Cat, which is where you follow the steps of how a traditional kind of story works with what the highs and lows that the characters go through on their journey, and it works like a charm. And you can actually download the beat sheet from Jessica Brody's website and use that to plot out your story. So my method of plotting out a story now is I write down the parts that I know I want to have happen in a book and kind of let my mind wander as I go between parts to see what happens. And it's much more fun for me that way.
Yeah.
I mean, with the one that's free on my mailing list, I tried the approach that's called Writing into the Dark, where you have no outline. You just you create a character and you put them in a scenario and let your mind do the rest. Because as the author of the book says, a guy called Dean Wesley Smith, you're emulating the reading process because you don't know what's going to happen. And it's a fun method to try, but it's very, very taxing. So I suppose I kind of combine 2 different approaches for how I write my stuff now, and I'm as happy as a pig in shit doing it.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? As long as you're
Yeah,
happy and comfortable with what you're doing. Okay, it doesn't matter how you get there, does it?
no.
Nothing to
But
down
yeah,
in the night.
you've got to enjoy it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, which is exactly why Justin's gonna learn flatting.
Uh, this is a nice bit of colouring here.
This is just the flats. This is. I think I'm pretty much done with the flats on this person. Do all the studs when I get to that bit. It's a nice enough colour.
I've just seen that comment COVID Kev has said about the book by Howard Mittelmark. I've just made a note of that. I'll look it up later.
How Not to Write a Novel by Howard Mittelmark.
One of the books that I backed last year, maybe 2 years ago already, I don't remember, is What They Don't Teach You in Art School by Will Terry. Let me show you guys. Let me grab it. I still gotta read it, but it's one of those things that I think is gonna be really, really full with good things that people should know. There we go. What They Don't Teach You in Art School.
I like that.
Because so art school essentially leads you along to make gradable art, what works, what doesn't, and this teaches you about marketing, it teaches you about how to brand yourself, stuff like that,
Mhm.
which they cannot teach you about because it's not what can be graded.
Mm.
And I'm not being funny, but I imagine any art teacher doesn't know how to do that. Otherwise, they'd be doing that themselves.
Yeah.
I don't mean that as a dig, but like, let's be honest.
Oh no, you're completely right. Also, you have Russian bots.
Oh, lovely.
The germs are back.
I'm gonna have to tidy them up in a bit. I feel like there's something missing. What's missing? What's missing?
Do you want to make the blade a silvery colour?
I will do that after. I've made it like a slight blue colour now, just so it's different. I know that it's been done. What's the thing on the head?
It's a stamp. It should say okay.
Presuming she's a battle sister.
What is going on my Discord right now? People be needing me apparently. I hear Gogo.
Is that someone playing with a dog toy?
Yeah. It's bloody. Mike, are you doing anything else other than Life on Quora? Obviously, you've got I can't remember what
Not
it's called.
really. Um, I am itching to restart my graphic novel, Sage of Sunset, which was my original comic, which is free to read on Tapas, by the way, if anyone's interested. Um, and I got like 110 pages in, but the difference between page 1 and page 100 is just so big that I'm like, yeah. Uh, and it feels a lot better to work on smaller things at once, with Love and Korra.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm itching to restart that story, but I need a co-writer, um, because my writing just simply isn't that good. Um, and I might just restart that, but I'd have to see. Um, yeah, it'll come around. It's my magnum opus essentially.
Hmm.
So, I'm gonna. I tried writing a book not that long ago, but my biggest hurdle was like the first sentence. As stupid as that sounds.
Mhm.
No, sometimes it does trip a lot of people up.
No, well, that's completely normal. Don't worry. Doesn't sound stupid at all. I can completely relate. Right. Time to finish this page properly.
Keep forgetting to press spacebar to move the page and keep drawing random lines. So for that. Oh, what colour smoke?
Give the smoke a grey colour, perhaps.
I think if it's grey, it might blend in with the armour a bit too much.
A lighter grey, perhaps.
Let's have a look. Bit like bluey green.
That's a good suggestion from Demon there. A light brown, make it dust.
Mm.
What's all about shout?
Which shows how much I know what I'm talking about with colouring.
Yeah, don't worry. I keep myself well out of it as well.
It's all trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I want that one.
How'd your wife get on with the new Halo game?
How did you get on with Halo, honey?
You still live?
Huh?
Are you live?
Yeah.
Are you muted?
No.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
I'm never playing that game ever again.
Lord.
It's just impossible. Impossible to beat that twat. I'm not doing it.
Oh God.
God. Your wife rocks.
She does.
Did she ever play the Resident Evil 2 remake when that came out?
No, she can't play sticks. She can't play scary games.
Oh, you've got to get her to sit down and play it, because that was probably the last game I took full enjoyment in when I was in gaming. Which is strange for me, because anyone that knows me knows I hate remakes.
Pardon me. She's she's the kind of person that will play a game, but if she was to play a scary game, I think she would genuinely cry.
Aww. To be fair, so would I. So.
I remember when Alien Isolation came out, and I had my Xbox One at the time, and you could upload game clips of your sessions to like the dashboard and for your mates to see. And that game was notorious because the alien was a very smart program within the game, and if it saw you, you were basically dead because it was a one-hit kill. And my friend was playing it, and he walked through this corridor that sort of curved to the right, and as he opens the door to go into the next bit, the alien just walks past the door, but it doesn't see him. And my mate he quietly creeps back until the door closes. it just made me think of one of those Warner Brothers cartoons where the guy's like, as he creeps away from the threat.
Yeah. I love baby birds. Baby birds are adorable.
Mm.
And ugly for the first like 2 weeks alive, but you know, can win them all.
Bloody hell.
You can sit in Payne's bedroom for a bit and put on charge and use it.
Really quiet while I'm trying to concentrate.
I know, right?
Eerie silence.
Yeah, sorry guys. Inking takes concentration too.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's really nice.
Yeah. Meow. Hey, Squeaky. What is it? What is it, Shelby? You wanna go?
Do this guy behind here, because I've only just seen him.
Mm.
Right, Mike, I've got a question for you about
Mhm.
drawing / colouring. Now, if you don't colour, you probably wouldn't have come across this. But when you're colouring, you have to really go into the image.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not criticising,
Hmm.
because I'm fucking shite at drawing. But you pick up on so many mistakes as a colourist.
Yeah.
What would you
So my
do in that
colorist
situation?
will happily destroy lines that I put down. No problem. And I usually go, yeah, you know what? You are completely right, and I completely fucked up there.
Mm.
Like, I'll have her fix up eyes and background lines that made no sense and stuff. And yeah, it's fine. You know, it's part of it. I'm just happy she does it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when I colored Love and Coral 1 and 2, I would sometimes just completely redo the inks on a panel because I didn't, like, I started coloring and I was like, oh my god, why did I do that?
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, happens less and less. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Demon. Like, it
Yeah, I've
doesn't
seen them
have to be
comment.
accurate. Like, it just has to look right. Um, as long as it fits with everything, don't worry too much.
Mm.
That's a bit of background colour in it.
Where'd you get this drawing from? I really like it.
I just googled Warhammer colouring pages.
Mm.
Mm.
So if anyone knows who the artist is for this, let me know. I'll give them a massive shout out and tell them thanks for doing a fucking awesome picture.
And they'll reply, "Don't talk to me, you CG scum," or something like that.
Probably.
Nah, there's a
No, they're Warhammer people. Like, if you work for Wizards of the Coast, I thought we were busy. No, no, they are busy. Like, they have deadlines that are just so cutthroat. It's incredible. But you do get good pay. I'll give them that one.
yeah. The Warhammer people are having a similar battle that the CG people are at the moment. So I think we'd be alright on that front.
Yeah.
Mm.
Someone has the zoomies. Hey, Shelby.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And now that 3D printers are almost a household item, the money's gone down a fair.
Sorry if you can hear my cat playing, by the way.
It's all good.
Oh, okay. Ooh, last panel. Oh my god.
Oh shit, what's
Yeah, some of these panels have been taking the same amount of time as entire pages for previous Latin Core issues. So,
Mm.
because they big.
No. Right, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm ready to call it a day. Quite happy
Yeah.
with what I've got done in an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
My role of the loitering rider has been complete for a stream.
So, it's lovely having someone that's just chilling.
Hmm.
Keeping an eye to chat while we're working.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
It's very appreciated. It would make, like, we'd feel the difference if you wasn't here
Mm.
straight away.
I enjoy these chill streams. It's my last sort of full day time to myself before I go back to work next week. So it was nice to do this. It's always nice chilling with artists.
Well,
Yeah,
right back at you, man.
Back in
Good
work
to
on
have you.
Tuesday. So tomorrow's bargain bin day
Mm.
when Baratheon's Bright Shield saves the day with the power of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. So,
The power of Christ compels you with a hammer.
yeah.
Yeah. D&D is something I'm going to try and get into. I'll show you this quickly before we sign off. But one of the presents I got for Christmas was from my mother-in-law, and she got me this.
I'll make you a big
Ooh, nice. It's
Yeah.
5th edition.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So I've got to sit and read the instruction booklet on how to properly play it and go from there. But I needed something to fill the void left by gaming, and well, that seems to be the key for me. So
Well, we were discussing the other day when this D&D campaign's finished, if we want to carry it on or like just keep it for like special occasions, like maybe do one like Valentine's Day, Easter, like all of that, like as a little celebration thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was toying with the idea, and I'd have to make sure Neff is on board because Neff does all the heavy lifting in our D&D show. Like he's an absolute legend. About doing that campaign, but having like a guest character,
okay,
like once a month or something like that. So like you know how we have guests on the bargain bin.
yes,
We
of
just
course.
have guests on D&D. So like we could end up going to, I don't know, save a farmer, and it turns out that farmer could be Justin. Like for that little bit. So like then Justin would be able to play like a farmer character for the show.
Oh God, farmer.
That would be really fun.
That'd be funny.
You know,
Yeah.
just because I feel a bit bad when we do D&D. Like we can't keep an eye on the chat while we're playing. So that could be a way that we get more people involved, and it's not like a massive time commitment for people saying like, like, do you want to come and play this? You've got to be available for like a month solid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that ain't gonna happen. But look, do you want to hop on for an hour and be like a damsel in distress? Sure, why not? Like, have some fun with that.
Yeah, sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never DM'd properly. It's something I'd like to try, but after seeing how much you have to know off the top of your head.
It's a lot of improv, but it's like the main rule that you got to keep as a DM is whatever your players decide to do, you say yes to it. Because the moment you say no, you can't do that, you're pulling them out of the game, you know?
Yeah.
And that is very hard. Like I cannot DM. I tried. It's oh man, it's so intense.
Mm.
But it's so much fun if you got a good DM. Like holy crap. For what I've seen, Neff is definitely a good DM. So yeah.
That's quality. I messaged Neff after that, so like, we always message him and say thanks and everything. And I said, I'm thinking about doing this kind of thing. And he went, yeah, okay, do that. It's like, I don't know if it'll work or not, but do it. Find out. Oh, lovely. So something either epic might happen tomorrow, or it just might not. I don't know. Find out. But yeah, I think it's time to call it hour and a half.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quite happy with my
Okay.
progress. Mike's on his last panel,
Yeah.
and
We'll probably finish it tomorrow.
finish it today. We've only got a little bit left.
Yeah, but if I finish it tomorrow, it means that I have an incentive to keep going tomorrow and don't have a blank page in front of me.
Mm.
That's one of my many mental tricks, like, we gotta keep going.
Fair enough. If it works, it works. Don't change it. So, goodbye everyone. I'm just gonna end the stream while Mike's animals destroy his house.
Take care, everybody.
No more than usual. Take care, guys.
Yeah, bye.